All right, welcome back, everybody. I am doing a lot of laser engraving. It's craft season. So, there's a dragon themed store, fun center in town that wants to have my products. I'm making some dragon themed stuff. And there's some tricks that I have learned. So I'm going to put on my display thing here. And I'm going to go to my laser. And you can see here this dragon. I'm putting this in a 1/4 inch wood. And really deep. What do you call it? Let me put the chat dock up. Really deep carve on it. So there are some tricks I learned. When you double click this on light burn, you can do some really neat things with it. One, I want the power to vary. I don't want it constant power because I want the carve in there. I want it shallow, I want it deep. So I got it from 20% to 100%. So what's going on inside my engraver is that it's creating this image in the wood, but deep in the wood. What I want to do with that is I want to do some coloring on it afterwards and then put some epoxy in there and fill that and really create that dragon to stand out. Now before I carved the wood, I went ahead and painted it red. So I didn't have to worry about masking and stuff like that. So it's actually engraving a red piece of wood. Why does it say that? Sign into chat. I don't know what it's doing. Create an account. What is it doing? It must have... I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. I can't see chat, I guess. I must do an update. Welcome to chat. Learn more, whatever. Alright, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, you guys chat among yourselves, I guess. Maybe I'll see it. I don't know. So, what I did is I increased the DPI and I changed the image to grayscale. This gives me a really good picture here. Now, mind you, this is a very deep. You can see the laser working really hard in there. It takes over 5 hours for this particular image to be put in there and cut. And so you can see, the image. Maybe I can, but it's carving it about halfway through the wood and putting it really, really deep into that wood. Now, there's some other things, that I've been doing. One is, let's see, let's turn, don't, no. Don't do that, Mike. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see, display capture, bam, make that go away, good. All right, so I cut, again, I painted this in a white, a pearl white, this image. And then I painted another red into gold. And then I etched in a dragon egg. So you can see a lot of tape on here. And the reason for that is that I'm putting lights in here, and it's still not dry. Thought it'd be dry by now, the glue. So anyway, I put LED lights in here. I cut little spacers basically right along here, so I can put the lights in here. And then I take my cutout and I put it over that. And then I put this in my machine, and I'm able to see where I want to put my lights. And then what I do is that I cut holes in here. Found that laser cutting it's better than drilling it. You could do either, but it's not like you're going to see it, but it looks better. And then, the tape is holding the lights down as the glue sets. And then those 4 LEDs will be in there, and they'll light this piece up. And they're red. I use a small little switch that you can get them on Amazon, and they're pretty fragile. Already broke one, but they do have a negative and a positive, which I didn't know because they look the same. So once I identify the negative, I put a little knot, a little twist in it, so I know that's my negative. And let's see if we can, I got tape over the light, so you're not going to really see the light. Yeah, you're not going to see the light. I got tape over it. But this will go on the back of the piece. And you got to give it plenty of room for your wires, because they don't give you really long leads on these. So you got to make sure that, this is actually going to go in the back, down in the center, and then we'll put a hanger on it. But, this piece right here will light up red against that red to gold orange background egg, and it should look pretty good. I already lit it up once to determine where I wanted the lighting, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. The cutting wasn't too much, but I did put some castle towers on here. Thought about painting it black, but then you wouldn't see the straddling of the castle towers. So we went with a pearl white. So it looks really cool, and when it lights up, it looks really cool. So we're doing that. Boy, what is it? We have to glue this one together. So let's grab some clamps. Grab some clamps. Some glue. Now this is a jellyfish display. So, I dropped a jelly. These jellies are very fragile. You can see, they're really cut thin. So we're going to take the jellies off of this. I did this one another one. I did it a couple different ways. And, when you make it, you kind of look at the colors, and you really want, really nice contrast to it. So what you do is you got your backboard, and then I'm going to put glue on the piece that I want to glue to it, and then the next one. And we just use Gorilla Glue, white Gorilla Glue. Clear out the, there we go. Clear out the Gorilla Glue. I don't know if you guys are commenting, because it updated OBS, and I don't have a chat on it, and I left my phone and my tablet upstairs. I apologize. So we just put this The nice thing about white glue, it dries clear, so you really can be a little messy, but you try to be as clean as possible. And we're going to put some in the middle. Try to keep the cutout flat. Got little fishies. Put the fishies down. Okay. And then we're going to take this. Now, what I did is I did a pearl white on the background. It gives me a really good contrast to it. So it gives a real good contrast to it. And then we're going to take the other layer and put glue on it. And then we'll glue it and clamp it. I love the tip of the Gorilla Glue. You can almost brush it. A really good tip to it, so. And that's important when you're doing really fine stuff like this, is the tip. Okay. Center and boom. There you go. Now we take my clamps. They're pretty affordable clamps. Get them over at, what do you call it, Harbor Freight. Boop. 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 And boop. All right, so now we've got it all clamped together. And now we position our jellyfish. We're going to glue those in the seam. This one does not light up, so I didn't have to put spacers in there. So basically now I get to create the look I want, and with the jellyfish. Now the jellyfish, I painted the board first. And then I colored the head of it with sort of a red, but the jellyfishes are gold. So we're going to put those jellyfish like that, and we're going to put a little bit of glue. You need a lot of glue on the jellies. They're very light and they're really not that big. And like that. And we like that. And again, nice thing about white glue, it will dry clear. So, and there's so many. I mean, there's very little material here to work with, but be a little generous with the glue. Nobody's going to see it when it dries. There we go. Boom. And that, when it's dry, we'll finish this piece. It's pretty cool, actually. I like these. I did a bigger piece of this over here. I did this hunting one. It's a hunting one. And then this is the bigger jellyfish scene. So, really cool. There's an octopus in the background there, but kind of hiding behind the jellyfish. It's kind of a fun one. So that's pretty cool. This is my heated blanket. It's cold and it's freezing outside. We got snow on the ground. That's what you do. But you kind of sign into chat. All right. Sign into chat. All right, terrible flat fishing. All right, there. Password. Shoot, it's sending it to step All right, I'll be right back. Get my phone. Yeah, that's me. There I go. Oh, you stupid thing. I did. Do not answer my phone. Gotta spell correctly, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it's me. There. What is going on? Ooh, I sent it to my phone. Oh, Jiminy. Here, let's just make that go away. Now I got my phone. I can see if you guys are commenting on my phone. You don't have to worry about that now, do I? View channel. There. Oh, there we go. Nobody's commented yet. Oh, we got 2 people though. All right, but I got people. So anyway, so it's actually this what do you call it? The engraver with these settings, which is a new setting for me, is looking pretty cool. And the it's coming out really, really nice right now. And again, it's a kind of, it's a relief, to it. And so even though I'm really carving into this wood right now, with these settings, it seems to be doing really good. You can see sort of some some of the what do you call it, the soot. We just wipe that off. And this dragon, I'll show you. This dragon, here we go. This is the dragon right here. So now with this, I'm going to use, I'm going to try to recreate this coloring, in this particular, in this carve. It's kind of rather dull, but with the epoxy over it, it's going to really make it pop, because I'm going to fill the cavity with epoxy or resin. And it's going to give it a lot of shine. The eye I will not make illuminating, but I will use a fluorescent paint on it, like a glow paint on it. So as light hits it at night, the eye is going to glow. And I have a great, additive for that. And then, of course, the silver against the black, because that's all black right now. It's really hard for you to see that, and I apologize, but this right in here is all black, and it's just got a lot of soot on it, so you just blow it off and wipe it down, after it, but it's black. And then basically we're just going to try to create, some, with the coloring. We're going to create, some differentiation between its neck, the bottom scales, the top scales. Try to get some silver in there a little bit, just a little bit. I don't want a lot of color on this because the epoxy is going to really, when you put the resin on it, it's going to really make it the color stand out even more. So when I paint it, it's going to be rather, well, it'll look nice. It's just not going to look awesome until I put the resin in the cavity. But this is actually pretty cool. It's just an experiment because I got some thick wood, and my laser won't cut through this wood without multiple passes. It just won't do it. It's too thick, too hard. So I thought, what can I do with this wood? And I go, well, I can make, a piece, with it and use it as a canvas. So I'm carving into it, and then I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to resin it. And resin's pretty cool. Really cool. Gives it a glass and makes the colors pop. It's just beautiful, actually, when it's done. The eye, even though I'm going to make it glow, I'm going to give it a reptilian iris to it. So the pupil's going to, or the pupil will have that sliver on it when I paint it. This is going to take a while, to do the entire piece. It will not be a cheap piece. It'll be like $100 piece, easy, when it's all said and done. But it's going to be pretty cool. And so this one store, it's called a family fun center in town. Turn these headphones off. My new headphones. Ooh, ah, over the ear. And the other ones I had were on ear. Over the ear, so much more comfortable. Microphone's not so good. That's why I use this mic. I actually use this mic on it. And it works much, much better. But this is really the goal is to get to this finished piece right here. Kind of, again, it's muted. The colors are muted, and so when I paint it, it's, some of it's going to be airbrush, some of it's going to be hand painted, and we'll see what I can, how I can really get to it. I'm going to have to change my airbrush tip and needle, and we'll have to go with fine and really get into these little nooks and crannies. I have it on heavy right now, really high flow, because I did the boards. Basically I want a nice wide spray, like an air gun, not an air brush. And that's a nice thing about having different heads, different tips, different needles on your airbrushes. Hey, Robert, you ever get that package? I didn't even check to see if you got that package. Let's turn off the display so I can check where it is. Display capture, bam. So let me turn that off, and we'll see if you got that package yet, huh? Or where it is. I really, really love what I did for Cat and Tay. I hope you like it. I mean, I just think it turned out so good. I think I forgot to put a hanger on it though, so. But yeah, hangers, no big deal. It's all the work that went into it. And I think I sent a USPS. USPS. Let's see. Should be arriving pretty quick. Um, should be arriving really quick because I sent it express. What is that? It's in Portland? What's up with that? Why? Picked up December 16th. Why is it stuck here? Oh man. You'll get it. I don't know why. It's sort of hung up in Portland. It should be at least in your state by now. So much for sending it express, huh? I guess it's not too expressing. You're gonna love them, Robert. I hope so. I mean, that's the problem about making stuff. Especially when you give me creative license. Give me creative license, I get to do anything I want. And I just never know, in the end, if the customer's going to like it. I know Amelia will like her stuff. I put her picture on it. I actually engraved her picture. You sent me a picture of Amelia, and I did some Photoshop to it, and then I put it onto the wood, and so she's got her picture on the wood. So it turned out pretty cute, really cute. So I gave her a little. I think it was the phone stand, and then a little plaque or something like that. I don't know, but she'll like it, I'm sure. I mean, you see her picture carved in to wood is kind of neat. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, these things right here. I'm going to open my porch and do like a honor store. We were in a neighboring town yesterday, and we hit this little honor stand, and I bought some extracts and jellies and stuff like that. And basically, there's a box you put your money in, and then it's on the honor system. Well, I'm going to do that on my porch. Yeah, I hope so. I hope she likes it. I mean, it'll be cute because, I mean, it's her picture on wood. It's really cute, really cute. And Cat and Tay, I did 2 hearts joining with 2 rings, and then the Bible's definition of love. Love is kind, patient, understanding. Love endures all things. And I put those little pieces of the quote throughout the piece, and I love the way it turned out. I made it in a pearl and gold, and even my wife, she thought it was a beautiful piece. So it really, I mean, it'll hit the mark. I think it'll hit the mark. And it's important when you find love. You are patient and kind and understanding, and it's mild, and hopes all things, endures all things, never fails, all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, it's kind of a neat little gift to give to people in love. But this is, I'm really looking, this is going to be ready until, this still got a few hours to go on the carb. If this was a 40-watt machine instead of a 20-watt machine, it'd knock it out in half the time. Oh, good. Well, that's your fault on the date. Well, on those pieces, they're not quite as good as what I did. So what I did, is I really put a lot of heart, literally 2 hearts, into this piece, and it is, well, like I said, I think it hits the tone right. It's got the look, it's got the feel, and it's got all the right words on it, and so it'll be really, it should really touch them. Did you give her the lake one? Did you give her the lake one yet? Because I was really proud of the lake one because, it has wonderful memories of her. It's multi-layer. I put the ducks in the back. Yeah, you do. I didn't make up that date. But did you give her the lake one? Because I love that because she's a duck hunter, and so I put all those mallards in the back in the water and behind it, and I put a lot of work in that one. I mean, a lot of work. So it was really, when you I had to first find that lake, and then I had to make a graphic of the lake, and then convert it, and then actually do a lot of editing before I put it into this program. And then, of course, I painted it, and then, of course, carved in the ducks and stuff like that. I think it turned out really good. Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. It's a fun one to give to her with stories, and because of what you told me about her, about Tay, I mean, that piece came from those stories you told me about her. And I wanted sort of to capture her good memories. And then, good memories are one of those things that you want to relive all the time. And so the picture, that piece, actually invokes those good memories, I hope. And so the stories you told me, it created that piece. So you really did create it with the information you gave me. So it'll hopefully she'll appreciate that. So I was very happy with it. I've been really busy because there's only a week left to Christmas, so I need to basically. I'm just trying to get these things done, and then next month I've got my baits, and so next month we're going to be painting baits for the next few months, painting baits and then making them and molding them and getting my spring collection ready for this year. And so we'll get back into bait making next month, and just my lake has some open water. It opened up a little bit, so I'm still waiting for that ice to solidify, all the way across and get it to where I might go up to the lake tomorrow, do a little fishing from the bank, but and then deliver a few things, and then come back home. It really does look good. I love, I've got the power from 20% to 100%. And so it's making really shallow cuts to really deep carves on it. And like I said, this takes 5.5 hours just to do, just to prepare my canvas on this piece. They want to move to Italy. I'm Italian, but I have a lot of friends in Italy and family, of course. Not the best country to live in, though. It's a great country to visit, but not the best country to live in. So I hope their romanticism of Italy is maybe Sicily. Get down to the football instead of the main peninsula. But it's just, basically in Italy, they change their government every year. It's one of the most unstable countries there are in the world. Although the prime minister and I think it's prime minister. Anyway, she's pretty good right now, but more than likely she'll be gone in a year, and somebody else in a new government next year. The oh yeah, we'll definitely do some live fishing from the ice. Yeah, they won't have ice in Italy. Although, you got the Alps, so she's in northern Italy, she can just hop over the Alps and go to Switzerland. They actually got some beautiful roads. Great driving roads and stuff. I mean, it is gorgeous. There is I think there's a chairlift that goes up, and then, you go up from Italy, but you can descend down into France, or not, yeah, is it France or Spain? Yeah, France or Switzerland. This chairlift, it actually connects 3 countries. I think, pretty sure. Always have your passport, your Euro passport, and that's another thing. You got the Euro. It's just a strange world. Europe is. Really is a strange world. It's just, yeah, it's working on the teeth right now. It's looking really good. Looking really good. Yeah, I won't be lighting this one up. This one is going to be basically art. So basically, all it's doing right now is preparing my canvas for my painting. And so basically, after it's all done, I'll blow it off, wipe it down with some isopropyl alcohol, and get that all prepped. And as I look at these images of the dragon, I'm looking at color choices, mixes. You can see some little bit of purple in the very deep portion, the background of it. When I look at a piece, I'm thinking, okay, what's my base layer and how do I work it up? And with a fine tip airbrush, I could get really into these little nooks and crannies and not worry about it. And but yeah, that's and then when I resin it, it's going to look really good. This is going down about 2/3 into the wood, and so I have plenty of depth to do a resin fill on this. It looks pretty cool. I am getting rather excited about this canvas. That's what I am. I'm getting excited about the canvas. I want to paint this, and it's going to look really cool. Again, it's going to be an expensive piece. This is not going to be a cheap piece. A lot of work. This piece is going to take, days. And, when it's done, maybe somebody will pay $100 for it. I don't know. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, man, that's going to look really good. That's going to look really good. Yeah, you can see the cuts. This is the, right over here is the teeth, the mouth, and then these are the scales off of its neck right here. So this is the area it's working on right now, right here. So that's the area it's working on right now. And I thought red would be kind of a cool backdrop for it, Like I said, we're going to keep a lot of this black. We're just going to accent it and try to separate certain portions of the dragon on this. So we're going to leave a lot of that black, but we're going to just sort of give it some just a little bit of accent to it, just to separate, like this piece right here. This piece right here, we're just going to sort of tint it with red, but this right here is going to be this blue. And we're going to put some red here, some more tinting, and then try to get a little bit of silver. We'll probably hand brush this. We're just going to work those scales on that. So no, this one is not cartoony. This is a serious dragon. This is a serious dragon. I love dragons. I really do. I mean, dragons, people, mythology, has taken over the actual dragon's existence. But dragons did exist one time. Even the Bible uses a dragon, to describe Satan. So so dragons did exist. I mean, the Bible has lots of, it's the oldest book in history, but dragons existed at one time. Now, mind you, mythology and creativity has given it magical powers and flames and stuff like that. But there was a bird about 150 years ago that went extinct. It was in Argentina, and this bird was called the Argentinius gigantus, and it had a 20-foot wingspan. And if you can imagine, this thing was in the vulture family. It was probably butt ugly, and it had a 20-foot wingspan. And if you saw this thing, you would think that it was a dragon. It was just ugly, and it was just massive. And so it's, we had over 200 species of those types of flying birds in just North America alone. 200. I mean, that in the fossil record. So they existed at one time. Now, mind you, due to our creativity and authors and writers and this and that, and probably legends that got blown out of proportion, dragons emerged. So these particular animals, they were birds, or back in the dinosaur days, reptilian, but they laid eggs, so you got dinosaur eggs and stuff like that, or dragon eggs, and they existed, and they may have had hot breath, but they weren't fire. But I'm sure they weren't. Some of them were more carnivorous than they were scavengers, like the gigantus. That was a scavenger. And, the funny thing, one of the reasons it died off is that it, like a bat, it couldn't launch itself from a flat surface. It had to get high, like a bat. Bats cannot launch themselves off the ground. They have to climb up and then drop and fly. And that's why they always hang from above, bats. So these large birds, that were dragon-like, they were the same way. They had to get up on high, and they'd walk up a big hill, and then sort of launch themselves like a hang glider, and they were able to get aloft. But it made them easy prey for hunters. So that's just the way it was. But that's dragons did exist, and yeah, I mean, our imaginations made them greater than what they were, but, I mean, over 200 different species of dragons just in North America. So when people say, well, Mike, dragons didn't exist, well, not the way they're written, but the foundation of what they were did exist. We all know pterodactyls existed, among other things. Those are dragon-like creatures. I mean, yeah. But, the Argentinian gigantus was something that existed just 150 years ago, back in the 1800s. And, it's well documented. 20-foot wingspan. That's double the largest flying bird that exists today. You've got, the condor, which is 10 feet, so double that. And, you've got yourself a pretty intimidating, and it was ugly. I mean, the condor's pretty ugly. I mean, the condor's super ugly. You know, it's just ugly. At working over the holidays and obtaining some extra income. Oh, you want this piece? Well, thanks. Yeah, well, you never know how it's going to turn out, my friend, until it's done. But this piece, I've got high hopes for this piece. This is a pretty cool piece, and you know, the lit one that the one I'm working on right now, that's a two layer, and I'm lighting it up red with LEDs. You know, the cutout over the egg. That's going to be pretty cool when it's done. But yeah, I just love doing dragons. I really do. If they just don't sell like you know, nature stuff does. And some people think, you know, I don't know. I mean, my kids are big into D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. And D&D is, you know, when they have D&D parties here, my oldest, she's the dungeon master. And so, you know, it's like a game that you never win. It's just a story that you know, it's a role-playing story that you just continue on forever, I guess. But this one's, I'm really looking forward. It's coming out really good. Again, when I chose, you know, my power to carve into this, you know, I didn't have to worry about going through it, but I had to figure out how much power and then how deep. You know, the scales look fantastic on it right now. I mean, they really, really look good. You know, it's got really good detail on that, on the carve. So right in here, you can see this, you know, you know, the detail right here is standing out really nice. And I love, you know, this blue area here is looking really good. This area, you know, we'll see. We'll see what I could do here. I could probably do a little airbrushing here to get this to stand out some. You know, a lot of it is the angle that you spray it. Oh, neat. Oh, they love dragons? Oh, yeah. They're just cool. I mean, that's just cool. So yeah, when I spray baits, I do it at different angles, and it gives it, you know, sort of a relief. So if I spray straight on top, you know, with my air gun, it fills all the nooks and crannies. But you don't want that. See these, you know, these dark areas here. You want to keep those. So you take your airbrush and you spray at a steep angle, you know, on it, and you just spray it, and then it skips those crevices, and then you're able to get that separation. So, and that's what you got to do when you paint, you know, 3D images like this. That's what you got to do in order to get that. And that's the same thing I do with baits. Same thing I do with baits. You know, I've got more baits coming. So, you know, I've got a few hundred baits that, you know, for January, February, and March, you know, basically knock those few hundred baits out and get everything ready for the spring season. So, your daughter-in-law and son. Well, my kids love dragons too. They really do. And they like steampunk. You know, that steampunk clock I make still hasn't sold. Sold all three of the other clocks, but not that one. And I worked hard on that steampunk clock, man. I mean, that's a nice looking clock. I like it. I want to make a steampunk clock that works, you know, that actually all the gears and cogs move. But if nobody's going to buy this one, I don't want to put the effort and time and money into another clock with all the moving cogs. I don't want to do that. So it's just a lot of time. These things right here, like, I know that I could sell this, obviously, because you want it. But, this one piece I was going to put in the Family Fun Center here. And it's very dragon themed. It's a laser tag area with VR escape rooms and, you know, arcade and stuff like that. It's actually a pretty cool store, or, play center. Actually, he's at only 6,000 square feet, which is big, but he needs about 30,000 square feet because he wants to open up a black light mini golf course in it, and he's already got the mini golf course. So now he's just looking for a spot to do that. He needs a big place, really big place. I told him he should do like card tournaments in there, like Magic and stuff like that. And those things, those card games that people play is just really popular. So I love that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I love the new settings I did on this. I've been doing a lot of research. I've only had this machine for about a month. So I've gotten pretty good with it. And the more I do with it, the more playing I do with it. I've got these keychains too. We'll put a couple of these in there too. I carved these dragon keychains. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. Dragon keychains are carved real deep into it. So we'll make sure the kids get that too. So gotta take care of your boy. Take care of your boy. I take care of my boy, my two girls. So, but yeah, this is it's gonna look cool. This is gonna look so cool. If it were, if this does really cool, I want to do like an osprey. I love ospreys. It's the Oregon state bird, but I kind of bonded with the osprey when we saved the one. That's my favorite video on my YouTube channel is the osprey. And it's just, I want to do an osprey, this, doing it this way. And I think it'll turn out really, really good. Not sure what color the board would be. Probably, I don't know. Yeah, I got these boards at half off, but they're so hard, so thick. I tried cutting one, and boy, it just came out like crap. So I figured, okay, well, we'll just use it as canvas, and we will do a lot of carving on it. Yeah, this is going to look really good. Your boy's going to like this piece. See what I can do with the paint. It's going to look really cool. Because the dragon itself is going to be black, I'm going to have to really, work at creating a different canvas right down the middle of the neck. Yeah, the keychains are neat. These they're wood with leather and sort of that bronze. And I did that one, and I did an eagle one too. I don't know if you can see there. There's the eagle one. So we did those. Did like 5 of each or 6 of each or something like that. But dragon is one of those cool things. I'll throw those in there too. Yeah, this wood was pretty expensive, and I got it for half off. So, and it doesn't make it cheap. It just made me buy it. That's all it did. It just made me buy it. And then when I got it, I'm thinking, what do I do with this? Sucker for a good sale, I guess. Yeah, that's going to look really, really cool. Man. It's got great detail in there, too. Really, really good detail. I mean, it looks like dragon skin. I know it's hard for you to see it because of all the smoke. I have a vent in there, and it's just sucking all that out the window. And I mean, if you cannot own one of these machines without, a fume extractor. You just can't do it. You'll just suffocate. My doctors are upping because I've been having some issues lately that my lungs, and so we've doubled the medication for my heart, and it added another medication for my lungs, and it's made me very dizzy. They said it would happen for a couple weeks, but phew, I just hold on to things as I walk. Oh, he paints gaming miniatures of Warhammer. Oh, he's going to love this piece. He's going to love this piece. Artists have probably the better life. We cope with life better because of our creativity. We're able to cope better, they say. I don't know. But artists do cope pretty good. So, but this is actually a pretty cool. He's going to love this. He's going to love. I can do some Warhammer stuff too. I went with the dragons because this guy's got a big dragon people take their pictures with in this fun center. So I figured, okay, well, we'll make some dragon stuff because I've been wanting to do it. I just haven't done it. So, yeah. Well, basically, all the medications that I'm on, I get very frustrated because it's just sustaining me, just keeping me functional. And I find that annoying because I had a very active life. I surfed, I snowboarded, I did a lot of stuff, and I was very active. And I could never stop moving. And that's why I do all this stuff, because I cannot stop moving. I think I'm going to die if I stop. But I get very frustrated because basically we're just trying to maintain me. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to keep me functional. And I find that annoying. And I have to settle. This one piece that I did over here, I don't know if I can take it off. There's a big piece. Okay, this is a piece that I did. It's hard for you to see it there. Alright, so this is a big piece. So this piece has a lot to do. This is me. I know it's a beautiful woman, but the reason it's a woman is because women are more emotional, so she represents emotion. There is a backstory because I do write books. She's a scientist in her backstory, and then a catastrophic accident happened. She was about to discover the cure for brain issues, and it destroyed her body. But the company that had her rebuilt her, and so when she came about after the rebuilding, making her an android, basically a cyborg. This is her looking into a fractal mirror. And she doesn't understand what she's become. Space is swirling around her. These are stars, and they're swirling around her. She reaches out to try to touch the fractal mirror, but having a hard time coming to grips with her new reality. And that's how I am. because before all my illnesses, I was a very different person. But now I'm a fragment of what I used to be in a world that's just spinning around me. And so this piece that I made means more to me than it does to anybody else. And people may see this as a beautiful cyborg, but she's mostly machine. In the story, and I did other pieces within the storyline, she had a daughter and a husband. And there's a beautiful piece that I made of her seeing her daughter for the first time after this rebuild. And her daughter didn't, was afraid to touch her. And I have a little girl that, to be honest, is afraid to get close to me. So this story that I wrote and then I depicted in my art is, well, basically a reflection of me, even though I portrayed me as a female, only because she portrays emotion, and men are more, more techie, intellectual, although she's very smart. But the personification is emotion, and it's a broken emotion, and it's an unreal emotion. So it's different, And that's why she's always hanging up over here. She's always hanging up over here. And as a reminder, I have more depth than people think. Thank you, Robert. Oh, enlarge the main screen? You mean this? Let's see, I got that. And maybe like that. Does that help a little bit? I don't know. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so that piece right there, I had it printed on, glass in order to give it more vibrance and more life. Sort of what I'm going to do with this. So it's very personal. That piece is, and I don't like it when people look at my art and they, art is very personal. People don't realize that when an artist makes a piece, we expose ourselves to you, and it's I don't know, it's just one of those things, we just expose ourselves to you, and artists are fairly we're fairly insecure is what we are. But yet we in our writings and our art, we expose ourselves, and sometimes people see something that's offensive to the artist. But we have to be thicker skinned, but we're not. We're pretty sensitive people. It's weird, but that's the way art is. I was just trying to see your piece better. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That main piece. I hung it back up on the wall. I don't think I have a picture of it. And like I said, it's mine. That piece is it just would never be for sale. If it were, it would run an awful lot of money. Yeah, $1,000, something like that. Let's see if I got a picture of her. I don't think I do. Yeah, so I think because I've done it so long ago before this computer, um, it is. It's probably on this flash drive over here. I have a 2 terabyte flash drive that I backed up all my art on, and try to find stuff on it is a real pain in the rear. It really is. Yeah, I don't know where it is. But yeah, that piece right there. It's an interesting backstory. You know, she worked for a pharmaceutical company, and her husband worked for JPL, the Jet Propulsion Lab, and they when the earthquake hit, it crushed her body and essentially killed her. But because she was the head scientist, she was so close to discovering the cure for many brain diseases that the company invested to make that and bring her back. And she was, and you can imagine the trauma. They did it for selfish reasons, and in the story, they feel like they own her because they saved her life and that's all their tech. They feel like they own her. And of course, she's just trying to come to grasp of what she is now. Her family, same thing. And there is a power struggle between her being herself, her new self, and the company's greed in the story. And it's a good story. It's a short story, but it's a good story. And it had the makings of a series. Sort of like the Bionic Man, Bionic Woman type thing, I guess. In hindsight, it's very similar, but, when the Bionic Woman, Lindsay Wagner, got her bionics, she also had a very tough time understanding what she had become. If you ever go back and watch the series, it only was on, I think, 4 years, but this character has a little bit more depth because Steve Austin did that to Jamie, and, just because he was selfish and he loved her. This was done out of selfishness by a company because they knew they could make zillions of dollars, with this drug that she was almost to create. So she's a brilliant scientist, and her husband, also, brilliant scientist, worked for JPL. They have to basically fight the pharmaceutical company, and the pharmaceutical company really wants what they want, and they feel like they own her because they invested millions of dollars in her, and they want their ROI, their return on investment. It's a pretty good story, actually. It's a pretty good story. I know. The thing about writing science fiction, it requires a lot of mind, and you do a lot of research, and science fiction is based on nonfiction, truth. It's just exaggerated, and so you have to understand the basics before you can start exaggerating it. What's that? Somebody. People contact me on Facebook to buy stuff. Oh, yeah. Rachel? When did that? Oh, that's Wednesday? Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah, she came yesterday and bought some stuff. Okay. Take care, Robert. Take care, my friend. We'll get this thing. This will take a while. This one's going to take a while. It's just slow. Little bit at a time. Little bit at a time. It's looking pretty darn good, though. I love art. I love art. Art is so much fun. Well, all right. I think we got a few people still on. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I mean, I really do. I mean, you can see this piece is already sold, evidently. Robert is buying it. But you know, in a few days after I'm done making this piece, we'll start the next piece. And it's you know, it'd be really cool to do a mandalay of a dragon. A mandalay is a many layers, and as they progress, we get I create different patterns and different colors in it, and a dragon would make a really cool mandalay. I sold my owl. The owl sold, and whenever I do, you know, something that requires, you know, dozens of hours of work, you wonder if you'll ever sell it. But it really did turn out beautiful, and I think a dragon would make a really good mandalay. But that requires a lot of work to create the files, you know, to make 9 or 10 layer files on it. And, you know, you basically, I trace this image and create a bitmap image off of it, and then I start breaking it apart layer by layer by layer, you know, on the computer. And until I finally create, you know, enough layers to where it progresses down into, you know, the back layer, which you barely get to see at all. And it gets so the cutting and you know of my machine, it gets, I mean, you saw what the jellyfishes were like, really tiny. This thing, my machine cuts to the accuracy of 0.1 millimeters, so it can really get a fantastic cut on it. And you know, I didn't buy the cheapest machine. I didn't buy the most expensive. You know, those things cost, you know, a good, you know, laser, you know, $3,000 for a really good one. I mean, it's a real good one. It's not a really good one. It's slow. You know, it's only 12 watts. You know, it'd be great to own a 40 or a 70 watt machine, but then you can cut through anything and just zip it out. That'd be cool, you know, 40 or 70 watt machine. But that'd be cool. And there are some machines, you know, there are 3 different types of lasers, basically. You've got infrared, you got CO2, and you've got a diode, which is what I own. I own a diode laser. They're the most affordable. I don't recommend buying a 5 or 6 watt. Definitely go 10 or better, because you probably will regret, you know, buying that $200 machine. And if you bought a $250 or $300 machine, you would have enjoyed it a lot more. So that's kind of where you want to go 10 watts or better. You know, this company called Atom Stack, they make they go 6 watt increments. Basically, the lasers in it are 6 watts each. So there's 2 lasers that are focused in there, and they come out as 12. So if, you know, they make basically they make a 72 watt machine, which has 6 lasers in it. But I think, you know, CO2 requires chilling. So when you look at different technologies, you need to come up with an idea of, what you need all this other stuff with it, like you need a fume extractor like I've got. You got to have fume extraction, or else you're just going to pollute yourself. But I can breathe fine here because I got a fan here, then I've got an inline fan, and then it's going out my window right outside, so I don't have to worry about it. But it's like anything. You buy a boat. Boats, my boat costs $1,500, but after I'm done fitting it, it costs $3,000. It's just the way it is. Everything's like that. There's always hidden costs. I really, really like the way this dragon's turning out on the engrave. Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to require, days of masking, painting, and stuff like that. So it's going to take a long time to finish this piece up. This is the easy part. It's not the quickest part, but it's the easy part. Nice and deep engraved too. The engrave's about it's a quarter inch thick, so it's about an eighth inch into the wood. Maybe, about eighth inch, about halfway through. And again, the laser will vary its power to create different carving of the wood on it. So, but see, this is, as you see on your screen, on the left side is the image that I'm shooting for in the end. But then I took this image and I created, a DPI and a contrast to it on my my Lightburn software. So if you look here, and I do this, the Lightburn shows a preview of it, and it'll take, in the lower right corner, it tells you how long it takes, 5 hours, in order to create this. Now, you can make it faster by not carving in as deep, but I am carving in pretty heavily on this piece of wood. So it's only going 2,000 millimeters per meter. And at 100% with a variable down to 20%. So that's what I'm doing there. And so I have a USB camera on it, so I can position things properly, and then, you can see it working if you want. Doesn't really help it much. But Lightburn is the standard software. That's $100 for laser burning and engraving. It's pretty standard, Lightburn, and it's really easy to work with, surprisingly so. So when this is all done, this is a rather deep cut into this wood. I painted the wood red, so it's got a red, it's burning into red. It's going to come out with this gray-black, like you see here. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use my airbrush, and I'm going to start working on adding a little bit of color to it, and getting this blue here, working around the eye. This eye will be hand painted with a regular brush, but I'm going to put a fluorescent glow powder in the red and yellow, and then I'm going to put a black stripe down the middle of it to give more reptilian look. And so as light hits this throughout the day, when at night in a dark room, the eye's going to glow. So the picture will actually change. Well, the eye will, and it'll look really cool. So if a person puts a picture light on this, hangs it up and puts a picture light on it, it's basically charging that glow powder. It's going to be pretty cool. It'll look really, really cool, actually. They're gonna love that. And I'll make a paste with the paint, with the glow powder, and we're just gonna work on that eye really well. The eyes are always, with a dragon, is always the focal point. It really is. It's not all this. When you look at this, you're looking at that eye, and eyes are amazing. Even on my baits, I spend a lot of time on the eyes, picking the eye and getting the eyes to really pop. So, but yeah, it's gonna look really cool. We're gonna get some silver. We're gonna work, some of these, scales here on his head silver, around its cheek, and then down a little bit. And we're just gonna get some silver and tip it down into there. And we'll probably leave a lot of black. We'll probably leave a lot of the black in there. And then this blue here. I love the way this blue looks on it. And we're going to work that blue. So it's going to look really, really good. At least it does in my mind. But usually, I'm a pretty decent artist. So I can do a pretty decent job with this. And like I said, the other piece, let's look on this other piece here. So this piece lights up. So this piece will light up. And right now I've got, 4 LEDs I'm gluing into it. And it did not stick. Why didn't that stick? We need to put a little more glue on there. That one looks like it's stuck. Good. So this piece right here, basically it's 2 layers. You got a dragon egg, and this will light up. That's not dry yet, but it will. This one looks dry. So, basically this little switch right here, this little switch, we got 2 of these that are dry and ready, but turn the switch on, and let's see if we can muster a little light here. See that? Well, that's that one. I want to see the other one. So you can see that red light right there. And so when I got 4 LEDs on this, and when you put the dragon over it like this, you don't see the LEDs, but when they light up, the whole dragon will light up nicely. So this is going to look really, 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 really cool. And then the second layer is that egg, which kind of looks like scales, but you could see how I did the egg, sort of red, orange, and then into gold. for some reason, dragon eggs are really pretty. So this one, again, takes a while. I'm working on an old world map. This was my first attempt. You know, you go through a lot of material when you're sort of designing something and seeing how it burns, different layers. This one's going to take me a few more shots at it in order to get it to work really well. And you can see, you know, this one I showed at the beginning of the video. That's pretty cool looking. You know, you can see a lot of fine detail cuts on those jellyfish. So, there's an octopus in here somewhere. It's kind of fun because, as you see, look at the piece over and over again, you may see something different in it. And I like that about art. Art is fun that way. So, but yeah. You know, one more week to Christmas, just trying to get some gifts done. And some of it is contracted, so, you know, this one piece is a contract piece here. A friend of mine really loved this piece. Real pretty piece. Sold one, and then she wanted one, so made another one. I love that piece too, by the way. I really like that piece. And then I got this duck hunting one. This is a duck hunting one. Really nice. So get these done, and we're going to do an honor store, so people just come into my store and pay what they want for something, and they just leave their money in a box and do that. So that'll be fun. You know, it's a small town. People are honest. Most of them. There's always dishonest ones, but not too bad. But yeah, we do have some really fun stuff. You know, got a lot of stuff around here that didn't work out. It just didn't work out. We'll get back to bait painting next month. I've got hundreds of baits I gotta work on for my spring, and we'll be doing that and ice fishing next month. So we'll be doing some lives out on the ice. That'll be fun, and you guys will enjoy that, I think. I just finished my show for tomorrow. I'm still got to mix it and send it in for my radio show. Check my radio shows out. They've been really good lately. And a lot of fun stuff in there. Also one on ice fishing you're going to really love if you like ice fishing. A lot of good information in there. This week's show, we're talking a little bit of the history of Klamath Falls. You know, I live next to the world's shortest river, called the Link River. It's right here. It's a whole mile and a half long. So I give some history on that in this week's show. That's a lot of fun. Also, how to choose a bait is in this week's show. So we got some really fun things in this week's show. I think you guys will enjoy. So, but other than that, I think we're done for this broadcast. I want to thank everybody for popping in. I really do. I really appreciate you guys giving me just a few minutes of your time. I really appreciate it. Support the channel, subscribe, hit like, but also watch those commercials that pop in on my show every once in a while. Watch them. And believe it or not, give me that 1 minute. Helps me earn money on the channel. If you just watch a commercial for 1 minute. You know, just let it run and go to the bathroom or grab a bite. Do that. And, you know, with this piece right here, this will be interesting, you know, this dragon piece. We might I might do little clips and then, in the end, make a video of its creation. So, might be one of those things I do. I don't know. Maybe. So, anyway, you guys take care. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. I really do. All right, let's hit stop. Take care, guys.